Well, it's a shame you should not get back to work, madam.
I had something of a pain.
You forgave him?
Yes?
Message on it, the message.
Hi.
Hi.
Hold on 1 second. I just need to get this in my my Bluetooth speaker, and I can
Okay.
only do that when we're on.
Okie dokie. And while you're doing that, I'm going to begin the show and say this is my 71st show, the newest show, the first show of the 2022. And I am extremely happy to and honored that Madison Orange would come on my show. I'm a little let's see, I haven't done this for like a month and a half, so I'm a little raw, and I'm going to try to be a good boy. And this is Madison Orange. She is an open format DJ and LED and Fire GoGo star. Did I get that correctly?
That sounds perfect. We'll work with all that through this.
Okay, and now I'm going to set the timer. And we're going. This is so thank you very much for being on the show. Where are you right now?
I am in Mar Vista, which is near Venice Beach, California. Where are you? And you are making me crave a cigarette. Are you smoking?
Yeah, you can smoke on the show.
I love that you smoke on the show.
There's joints too.
Oh, perfect. This is my kind of show then.
And if you got beer, I recommend beer. Right now, I'm on an Always Down.
Ooh, I've not heard of that, but it looks good.
It's a double IPA, 9%.
Awesome. Oh, wow, 9%?
Yeah, Oregon's got this by 10 barrels. It's really good. It's light. It's delicious. I'm doing a commercial for it right now. I need sponsors.
Wonderful. Well, very fun. Thank you for having me on.
So let's talk a little bit about because we don't really know each other. I basically should almost call this instead of Brett's with Friends, friends from Facebook. But like I probably met you at some point, or we're linked together by some friends. And so I was seeing that you're putting out a lot of stuff. You're doing a lot of stuff. Why don't we kind of, because I'm notorious for not doing any research. So I'm coming in like a blank canvas. And also during this interview or this chit chat conversation, if you have passions or things that I'm not asking you that you want to talk about, just launch right into them.
All right.
But like, let's begin. Where were you born? How'd you get into DJing? How'd you get into dancing? And just your creativity, your inspiration, your movement. How did it begin?
I love it. So wait, did you say you're in Oregon? Because I was curious about that.
I am in Oregon.
Very cool. Okay.
I'm in Salem right now.
What's that?
I'm in Salem right now.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I'm not familiar with Salem, but I have been to Portland. It's so wonderful up there.
It's a funny place.
So I'm from LA. I mean, I was born in Montclair, which is the Inland Empire. And you know, my parents, I'm a product of the 90s. My parents were divorced. My mom was actually gay. Became very independent, only child, very young, kind of had like split homes, the 2 Christmases, the whole, that kind of thing. I feel like that's so 90s, like kids, all the kids I know had that. And the reason I say that though, and I bring light to it or bring it up is because I kind of found my independence really young. And so I learned how to earn it as well. So I'd get good grades and I'd be like, well, because I got good grades when I was 13 and my mom caught me smoking pot. I was like, well, I get good grades. She's like, well, I guess I can't really, you know, I learned to earn things, you know? And so I when I was like 16, I was kind of going in and out of homeschooling. I was working at a cafe, kind of living with friends. And I ended up at this place that some of you may know called Burning Man. And I went really young and I actually had to have a notarized note by my mom. And she kind of knew what it was. I mean, this was 2007. I was like, Mom, I want to go to this thing in the desert. She's like, okay, you know, I've already been to raves. I was already kind of like finding that music side, you know.
How old were you?
I was 16 turning 17 because my birthday is September 5th. So I actually turned 17 at Burning Man. And I had to get a notarized note with my legal guardians. And the funny thing is my first Burning Man camp, and if people know, Burning Man's really based on a bunch of theme camps. My first one was called the Red Light District. So I'm like, Mom, I'm camping at the Red Light District. It's going to change my life. I've heard it changes life. She's like, okay. So I go and I see music and I see something called flow arts, which is known with hula hoops, poise, staff. a lot of different props. I mean, it's evolved so much since then. What props are considered flow props or dance props or whatever terms you want to use. It's such a community of people. People sometimes don't want to be like, don't call me a flow dancer. I'm a this, you know. So I found it really young, and I knew that I wanted to make something of that, you know, and I've always kind of been very business oriented. My dad ran a business, and I kind of grew up around that. So I, you know, I wanted to be a DJ, but I got really good at hoop dancing first. And I remember kind of thinking it was because DJing and music is a male-driven industry. I remember thinking that and going, well, I'm a girl, so I guess I'm gonna go more the down. And I had dance training too. And I was like, oh, so I'm gonna learn to hula hoop. I'm gonna learn to fire dance. I'm gonna go that route. But down, I was like, I want to just put that guy over and play the music, you know? So just to wrap it up really quick, my business that I own the trademark in the LLC. It's GoGo Hoop Dance. And what that is that I've combined go-go dancing, which is elongated periods of dancing alongside a DJ or a band. You could be a burlesque. There's so many styles of music or dancing, right? Ballet, burlesque. Go-go dancing to me is like you see these girls or guys on stage or on a box or somewhere placed within a club or a venue. And what they're doing is they're dancing for a long time. And the purpose is to keep the audience dancing too. Because the music can be great, but sometimes you're like, I want to go outside and have a cigarette. I want to go get a drink. But there's something about the vibe of these great dancers that have been going around since the 50s, you know, where they were like dancing in their go-go boots and stuff. It keeps the audience going. Yeah. So with that business and me being very familiar with that music world and the love of hula hoops, I put that together and I created a whole curriculum based on how to hula hoop for a long periods of time and keep the audience dancing along with you, sort of thing. It gets way more deep than that, but if you can see it, that's my 15 years. I basically just gave you my 15, 16 Perfect. Years in that 10 minutes.
Well, we got 45 more minutes to go. So
okay, well, so that's just the start of it, really.
Yeah, that's a good. So my immediate thought or question I want to ask you is, what major mistakes, or what would you have liked to have known before you got into hoop and dance, and that you wish you would have known?
Well, okay, as soon as you say that, the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm sure I could think of other categories of that. But, you know, I came in really headstrong in a lot of things, like this is how it has to be. And I've kind of had some, and it has been patched up over the years. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2006, 2007. So a lot has happened where you have falling outs and then you come back together and you're like, hey, bro, friend, girl, you know, I was 25 and I thought I knew better. And I acted like this at a show, or I felt entitled, or I felt better than, or I was upset and projected or reacted. And those are all the things that in this industry of entertainment, you're going to lose people. And there's going to be asshole bosses. And I would just like be like sassy attitude back. And I never got called back for those jobs again. Mm-hmm. And so I've learned to be nicer, I guess, bite my tongue, see more of the sides of things, you know, like, you know, let's say you're working in something like EDC and your boss who runs the group comes in and they're like, you weren't on time and blah, blah, blah. And then some random 17, 19-year-old dancer comes up and goes, well, actually, I was here. You're never going to hire that girl again, even if she was right. And I was that girl for so long. And it really actually did push me into getting my own business, though, because I think I just knew how to do it better, you know, yeah. and I just
so no, hey, that's what we, you know, hey, me, when I was 17 or 18 years old, I was just the same way.
Good.
You know, you think you know everything, and you know what you want to do, and you have a clear vision of it, and you don't give a shit who stands in your way.
Absolutely.
Hopefully there's part of that self-entitlement that goes away. I'm 52 now. How old are you?
Yeah. I'm going to be 32 in September. I just keep telling everyone I'm 32, so I'm 31 and a half.
Okay, 31 and a half. Keep those halves. You're going to want every one of those halves.
You know, I've gotten more respect the older I get, though. So I think
that happens. Maybe not. Maybe sometimes.
I think when I was younger, I was like, even if I knew better, it was like, well, you're 19, shut up. And now I'm 31 and I own a business and people are listening finally, you know?
What did you feel like when you turned, like, for me personally, I think when I turned 28, that I felt like, oh, I don't know shit. Yeah. Was there ever a time that when you reset, you're like, holy shit, everything I thought that I knew was you know it subconsciously, but like it's like a there's a 10-year cycle in things, or some
Yeah.
people think an 8-year cycle in things, where the rhythm of things, and the periods in your life are like chapters. When did that moment happen for you?
I think around the same time. I think like 27, 28, it really, really hit me that that I didn't know better. I knew it all and I didn't at the same time. I really calmed down a lot, and I've been on that train even more so since then, It kind of hit me then. I thought I could have my attitude younger, and it was like, cause I owned it, I knew it. Now it's like, no, you just didn't know.
It's also like it's like a great story. Like I think that life, and I've been kind of pontificating since Bob Saget died, and Norm Macdonald and Betty White, and all these comedic legends. And it's like the fun is in the doing. Like when you're dead, you don't care anymore. So like these experiences that we have are like almost like we're not going to care about them when we're dead. So the journey is the destination. And so when you're taking advantage and you're like, okay, wait, I'm on Earth and this is what's happening. How do I want to spend my time? And also a weird creating, right? Because why wouldn't you want to explore every aspect of, in your case, movement, rhythm, dance, and also DJing? Like, what do you find more successful for, or which do you like best? Or I know that's a stupid question, but
I get this question in my interviews, and it's such a fun one because I've had so much time to kind of think about it.
Okay.
And how do I say it? I like hoop dancing as long as I like the DJ. Well, it's kind of like I'd rather be the DJ unless it's someone who's really good, and then I'm happy to be the hoop dancer.
Oh, yeah.
But it's all very like what it depends on, what's the atmosphere. Like I love working weddings as a DJ. A lot of DJs just want to be producers and do festivals and be Diplo and be huge and whatnot. I love playing weddings. I love playing bar mitzvahs. I love playing like corporate events where I just love the holidays where I was playing random Christmas Motown music at like a company party where people are getting drunk, and I kind of love like reading the crowd in that way. I mean, of course I would love to be in Tokyo with like 2,000 people in front of me DJing. That's one of my dreams. And playing
I know DJ Harvey, and he plays Japan all the time, or he's getting back into it now. Well, I have to talk. He's a great guy, but he's huge in Japan.
Yeah. So much music over there. It's phenomenal. I mean, there's a lot of places that appreciate all genres of electronic, And the thing about playing, I had a residency in Hollywood for a couple years where I was a punk rock bar, and I played classic rock and punk, and it was so great. Nice. And I loved that.
What was that place?
It's called Beetle House LA. It's a Tim Burton themed restaurant bar. Oh. And they have Beetlejuice running around. It's really cool. And they've gone through so many managers. And I was the resident DJ there for a few years and fire danced in their shows that they have at night. And they just switched over managers. COVID happened, things changed, and I didn't end up going back. But it's a great place in Hollywood. I super tell people to go if you're a tourist in LA, Hollywood, go to Beetle House LA on Las Palmas and Hollywood Boulevard. It's really good. But I like playing all different types of music and like being somewhere and just knowing what to play. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, only my kind of house music or one kind of genre. I like being somewhere and be like, did she just play Earth, Wind and Fire? Did she just play Prince? Did she just play Led Zeppelin? And like kind of just like be more random. That's one of my like fortes, I say. I think, did that answer that question? Oh, that's what I love about DJing.
Yeah, you're DJing. It's multiple music, multiple styles, multiple genres, it's music is music. If it's good, it's good.
Yeah, and what's happening right now though, a lot of DJs are really actually producers. Like they're making music. A lot of these kids are making music. They have the Ableton, they have all the different programs, and they're making music, and then they go out to shows and they play their own original music, whether it's the best or not. And so there's this world of producers, and I'm like, I'm not a producer, I'm an actual DJ, meaning I play what's appropriate for the crowd. So if you put me at a beach party, or if you put me at like a wedding in the mountains, or if you put me at Burning Man in Deep Playa, I will go through thousands of playlists of folders that I have organized in my very Virgo playlists,
Yeah.
Which just means organized.
You seem like a Virgo. I was earlier. I was like, I didn't want to ask. I was like, what's her? I bet you she's got some sort of detail thing going.
Yeah, so Virgo. I'm like right there. It's helped me like explain myself or understand myself even. So yeah, DJing and then hoop dancing though, like you've mentioned a few times, the movement aspect of it, the freedom, and here's another thing that people might not realize about hoop dancers or anyone with props. Let's say you're at a festival like Coachella and you're seeing girls or guys with hula hoops or stabs or whatever props they might have in their hand. You know, that's also a way for them to dance to the beat of the music, but also keep their space. You know, a big thing of me hoop dancing was you don't fuck with this space. You know, if you come up to me, I'm gonna hit you with the hoop. It's happened, it happens. You know, and drunk guys will come up and be like, hey girl. And sometimes I've actually done a trick that makes it so it hits them. Like it's a protective little like bubble for me, you know?
Yeah, and you're in the zone too. So you're already in the zone. You're like orbiting or not orbiting, you're the center. And then these things, anything that comes close to you is gonna get whipped off. It's like you're in the
there
zone.
You go.
Yeah.
Exactly. And part of my job, if you hire me at a club, I'm going to make sure not to hit the guests. I'm professional. But my point is just being that it's a protective bubble where it keeps me separated, you know, because I'm an only child. I was mostly homeschooled. I live alone. I kind of just like don't want to be in a dance floor with a bunch of people like coming up to me. You know, it's just like you get your own little rhythm and your movement going. And no matter where it is, whether it's on the dance floor or on stage, it's yours, you know?
Well, you're performing it as well. It's just like a stand-up comic doesn't like hecklers because he's performing or she's performing.
Right. Hey.
You're performing like an actor on set. You are there to do a job and you are doing it the best you can.
Yeah.
And it helps with people don't fuck with you.
Absolutely. I say, well, people come up to me and sometimes like I'll be on a big stage and someone will be like, can I see your hula hoop? And I just want to be like, let me come to your office and play on your computer. Like, you just like, don't touch my business. I'm not going to touch.
So you had hecklers.
I know. I've seen the hecklers. I've seen beer bottles be thrown at go-go dancers. I've seen like over the years, I've seen so much like crazy shit.
Give us the one nightmare and then go from the most excruciatingly awful thing that you've. And if you've already been asked this question, we can skip it because I don't want to repeat questions. And then give us your best experience.
Oh my gosh. Well, worst experience. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think like danger element, like worst experience danger wise. Like I was in Mexico and I was dancing in Puerto Vallarta at a club called Club Collage, and this was like 2009, and it was a bit rough. I mean, strippers were coming over from across the street, and the guys were from all over the world. It wasn't just like it was like Canadian frat boys, and I was on a go-go box dancing. And
sounds like a fucking nightmare so far. It sounds like a fucking
that's
nightmare.
probably some people's nightmares. I don't know. It seems like a normal Wednesday night to me. Strippers, all different mob people. You know the.
Well, not that part I like, but just the I don't know, the danger part.
Well, I don't know where I've ever felt super in danger. You know, I even hire assistants and stuff for some of my bigger shows where I have people come and like assist me. So I'm never really alone, you know. I'll go out to houses in like Fontana and I've never been there. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the rate for DJ. I'm like driving out with my like $3,000.
You like risk. You like risk for sure.
Actually, I don't. I would never like jump from a plane or anything. I'm like hiding in my house. Yeah.
So wait, okay, so the danger, I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but
no, I don't really think I have a good danger one. I'll have to think on that because like I said,
a spot where you didn't get paid, people were nasty to you.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, where's your favorite place to play that you've played?
Oh, DJing wise, favorite place to play. I've played a lot of shows. I mean, Burning Man. Burning Man is my favorite place to play because you could be on an art car in the middle of nowhere and then look up from your DJ decks and there's 2,000 people in front of you. And I've had, oh gosh, I mean, there's the Burning Man experiences. I've gone like 8 times since I was 16.
Yeah, I'm 4.
Yeah, so it's just like all these memories just compile up and I just have like, DJing on art cars and looking back and like 20 friends are on bikes following you and you're
just magical. Like, it's magical when you're like when the sun's coming up and you guys been tripping all night and just partying, you're dancing your ass off and you've been meeting new people and stuff like that. And like the sun's coming up and then you go to like Black Sabbath pancake.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is actually
No.
something big of mine.
All
I
right.
think why, I went to Burning Man so young, and the thing I saw was multiple, many different places and many different age groups and many different people were doctors, surgeon, lawyers, people were cafe waitresses. Like there's just all different types of people at Burning Man, right? Like the most educated, and people who are living in their vans who are just traveling for fun, like all different types of people. And so with that, you walk around and you'll go to Black Sabbath Pancake and you'll go to a jazz. All of a sudden, there's this amazing jam band that just started, and all the different types of music there is. It's not just EDM. If people think that, then they don't belong. It's not just EDM music at Burning Man. It's all different types.
Yeah, you can't get trapped in an EDM vortex though. I've done that where you race to the one part of the playa and it's like, wait, I can't get away from it. It's everywhere.
It's definitely the most popular music right now. I can tell you this: if you were at Woodstock, you would be hearing the Doors and all that shit on every corner too. I'm sorry to what can I compare to this?
Hey, Doors are great. The Doors are classic.
But it's the same thing at Burning Man. You're gonna find more of the electronic stuff everywhere now because it's just what's popular. But especially when it comes to electronic music, if you're a deep playa and you're seeing Robot Heart, they're gonna play music that's for the sunrise, right? It kind of gets into that vibe. You would never hear like appropriate camps playing crazy hard music when the sun's coming up. It's finding the appropriate type of music for the time of night. You'll be riding your bike and you'll hear drum and bass and it'll be 4 a.m. and you're like, ooh, this is perfect right now. Liquid drum and bass at 4 a.m. And I think that's what's made me an open format DJ, is that I saw so young, like, oh, this is appropriate for this time and this group of people and this type of style, and kind of seeing how it organized itself at Burning Man. Thank you for listening.
I'm absorbing it. I'm tracking you the whole time. It's beautiful. So wait, did you go to this last Burning Man?
No, I didn't do the Renegade burns. I have to say, as much as I
look like they're funner than the actual burn though. Did
you go?
No, I thought about it for a second. I was on the road and I almost was like, shit, should I just go over there? And I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I was in this last couple of years have been wacky, to say the least.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm got a little PTSD from everything and just kind of like absorbing it. You're an empathetic person. I'm sure you're like take on the emotions and traits of people that you surround yourself with.
Sure.
That's why you have to say goodbye to some people, and they say goodbye to you, and then you're like, oh, I guess that's what. It's so funny because it's like goes back to that thing like ever see those videos where they talk to their future self?
Oh my gosh, no, maybe, but
they tell their future selves what they would wish they would know when they're their age. It's like people are doing a lot of that like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, but one of the things I got was like the friends you have right now will not be your friends later. They are not really your friends.
huh.
And because there's people that come and go throughout your life that you think that are your best friends or whatever, but it's like it's this weird people have children, people that you think you'd know forever.
Yeah.
And how we sort of like weave in and out of this like creating and doing and changing with art. Now I'm babbling. You got me doing it.
Oh, I love it.
It seems like these are, if everything was to stay the same the whole time, it'd be super fucking boring.
Sure.
And so how we sort of process these experiences through our art kind of change and elevate the art itself, hopefully.
Yeah, some people took the time through all this time to get better at their crafts and art, and others were angry and mad at the world. It really, I think the last few years of how we reacted and focused really can show who of artists and anyone can kind of come on top of their goals.
Yeah, and so when this COVID first hit, like I'm sure you're like working a lot and doing a lot of stuff, and then it hit. What happened? What was your experience when it all happened?
Because
I was like, you deal with public. You're a public entertainer.
Yeah. Oh gosh. It was. I had residencies. I was killing it. I was, when you have things regular as an entertainer, you're like, oh my gosh, I have food next week. So it was just when it hit and everything went away. it was really hard to just like, what's my purpose? I felt like I had no identity for a second, you know.
What happened on? Sorry, I want to get really specific. Like when that date happened, like on that weekend.
Yeah, I remember it all. I was shooting in Joshua.
I had an art show the night of like Saturday. Everyone's like, shut it down, shut it down. I was like, hold on, we just did advertising. Hold on, it's a
Right.
and it was like Saturday, the November 17th. No, it was
like the 9th, March 9th and 13th weekend.
13th.
Mm-hmm.
Because Friday was the 12th, right?
Yep.
So we did it on a Saturday. That was the Saturday.
It was a Saturday. I was at my club. I was at Beetle House, the punk rock bar I was telling you about. And people were like, wait, what is this? You know, we were trying to
ain't no one's gonna watch this thing anyway. So it's so this is just for me and you. This is how I get my social activity out.
I literally just turned red. I was like, oh no, I just fucked my life up right now.
No. I mean, I know people that aren't vaxxed. I know people that are vaxxed. It's just
right.
Like,
oh, sure.
It's common sense. It's common sense. Just use common sense right now. Whatever is good for you. But you know, I generally right now, now it's like automatic that when I sell art or I'm with people because I sell art on the street and I have a little pop-up over here in Salem, but it's in general, I get people's space.
Right,
right. I don't get in people's face. I don't and if they're wearing a mask, then maybe I'll wear a mask if I'm doing a transaction or something like that, but if I'm outside. But like, I mean, there is a development. We have to sort of acclimate. And that's what people do. That's what humans do better than anything is adapt. And that's why we've survived for so long. But it's like just common sense maybe. And it's not political. It's just common sense. I mean,
to give space or
just how you operate and how you interact with people.
Yeah, you know, we should have always. I remember before the pandemic, like being at the grocery store on my phone and someone like in line, like looking over my shoulder, like reading my phone. And I wrote like, this weird guy is looking over my shoulder as I'm texting my friend. And I'm like, why is that guy so close? You know, people should have never stood close to each other.
Dude, I have so many people. I don't know if it's, I don't know something about me, but people want to squeeze me.
Yeah, you seem squeezable.
And I'm like, hold on, this here, you know, these guys are like ex-wrestlers or something, like they did wrestling. Like you're just slightly trying to crush me a little bit, but you're not, you know, it's just funny. I think people are just, you know, giving space, which is great, you know, and that allows our auras, if you want to get crazy, our energies to have more room.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, it's acclimate. Did you ever when you have ever done mushrooms or LSD or anything like that? I'm assuming that you probably did.
Of course.
Do you remember like the pattern in things?
Yeah, it's very much like that. I don't know if you're familiar with like Jumbie art or that kind of print, that just mandala-y, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's almost like I think that what's really cool about mushrooms is that you could take those experiences back into this reality. You know, all those experiences I've ever had with mushrooms, like I pretty much remember every moment of them, you know, and so I get, it's weird that you have to backtrack and sort of like, oh, now I'm thinking about that for the first time in a while. Anyways, so wait, what are you working on now? Segue.
I love this conversation. We flow so well together. What's your birthday, by the way? I need to know this.
4/20/69.
Oh, look at you, 420. Aries, right?
Aries, Taurus, cusp.
Aries, Taurus. Very nice. 420. Good birthday. Next for me
4/20/69.
420. It's coming up too. And 19.
Wow. Don't say that. Oh shit, it is.
420. It's celebration. Okay. You know what's funny is I'm actually I go through these, like I manifest things I want really easily. And I will I'm like, oh, I'm not busy right now. And then I get like 5 projects thrown onto me. And I'm like, I'm juggling these 3 major projects right now that 2-3 weeks ago, I was asking the universe for something really important to do. And now I'm like, so these 3 things, I leave next week to Orlando. I'm performing as a model and a go-go dancer on Groove Cruise, Orlando to Bahamas and back. And I'll be gone for a week. I know. And that can't.
Oh shit.
I'm like, and I'm bringing all my DJ headphones and my USBs because you never know when I'll be able to like jump up somewhere.
So you're not
So that's
bringing
the
any
goal.
record. You're not going to bring any records. You work in vinyl.
No, I can't. I mean, I'm familiar. I'm friends with those people. I'm a
I'm
US
friends with them. They're my
I'm friends
friends.
with the vinyl kids, or I should say my elders, my mentors.
The old people. The old
The
people.
ones, the ones born for 2069 that love vinyl.
There you go. Exactly.
I definitely, I work off computers and or USBs, and I have my controllers and CDJs. It's pretty industry standard. So
And
when I
it's
show
easy.
up,
It's portable.
yeah.
It's not like crazy.
Yeah, I mean the USB has my music, and then hopefully the gear that is
You
played
have
on.
backup? You
I
bring a
always have a
backup?
backup too. Is my stuff here? Oh, yeah. I have my little bag with all my USBs.
You
and
just have like
backup.
one thumbnail drive, and you're like, "This is it, baby. Let's rock
Oh
and
man,
roll."
you're bound to lose it if you walk around with just one. Yeah, you always need to have a backup, or you'll be playing and it'll go into something called emergency loop.
Mhm.
And that's just when there's just a fuck up in the CDJs. And what you need to do is have another USB and stick it in the other side, mix it out, turn this CDJ off. If you don't have another USB, you're basically shutting down the whole system and waiting for it to reboot. I've seen it all happen.
So wait, you're gonna go on a boat? Like this big giant, like one of those Carnival Cruise Line things?
Yeah, so it's Groove Cruise, and it is, I believe, Carnival Cruise Line. Groove Cruise is a really well-known, been around forever. In fact, it was funny you said earlier, 8-year cycle. 8 years ago, I was on Groove Cruise as a model go-go dancer from LA to, I think we went to Puerto Vallarta and back, and now I'm going to the one 8 years later with the same freaking group, like the same 5 main
Nice.
people out of 10. 5 of us are going. I'm like, oh my God, we haven't all been since 8 years. So this is kind
So
of
it's like a reunion as well.
It's a reunion.
It's a
Yeah,
paid
and you know
reunion.
what? Just to kind of get into the drama fun side of entertainment, as I mentioned earlier, having falling outs with people and kind of coming back together because age kills it all. You're like, hey, I'm older now. I'm sorry, I had attitude. That's kind of some of the people I'll be seeing on the boat. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
good
like-
now though, because we're all older. Nothing fucking matters anymore. I'm gonna see them. We're gonna dance. It's gonna be great. So
It's like
just full
MTV
circle.
Real Life.
What's that?
It's like MTV Real Life.
Oh my gosh.
Like real life.
So that segues into my second project, which is I've been working with these casters for a show called it's on HBO now. I mean, it's been on HBO. It's called The Sex Life. And they have 6 seasons. And it's basically an hour or 2 hour long HBO show where they have segments, 25-minute segments, 3 of them, of just anything you can imagine from and it's all like interview documentary style where they follow a couple into BDSM or they go to a lesbian nightclub or just anything in the sex world, I talk about it so nonchalant.
So wait, you're what part of the show are you doing?
Well, I will tell you.
All right.
So
Sorry, that joy just hit me. That's like
he's like, wait, what are you doing?
Wait, what happened?
They through some things, through some connections and people knowing I've been in some reality, I've done some game shows and auditioned for Real World back in the day and all that shit. The casters for The Sex Life.
I auditioned for Real World the first season.
Stop it! That is so cool.
And I also coined and I can say that the MTV.
Okay.
Because when we sent in our tapes, which you sent in tapes,
oh man,
and I met the anyways, it was such a because I saw how crazy it was, right? Like real. Anyways, I auditioned in San Francisco and wrote them a backup letter, that said blah blah blah. It was all typed out, and I copied the MTV logo onto the paper and wrote the note on that paper. And I said, and I just want to say thank you for I want something to the effect under the ever knowing watchful eye of the MTV.
Ooh.
And it had the logo in there. Then all of a sudden, maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year or something like that, they started using the MTV, with that guy who's a hippie guy. And I was a big MTV head back in the day because that was our internet.
Right,
it was
right.
the closest thing to anyways, it was pretty exciting at the time, and they had actual music videos. And then Real World came, and then they did that in Venice, Anyways, there's
Was
a
it in
little
Venice?
timeline.
Did they do it in Venice, California? I point out the door.
Oh no, I just remember seeing that guy from the San Francisco one.
Oh, okay.
The booger guy that would eat his snot or something, the really
Oh my
gross guy,
gosh.
the white
Yeah.
guy.
It's all like coming back.
It's like primordial goo for you, but it was where when I was like 18, that's what we watched. But I saw him in Venice once. Anyways, but funny reality TV, and now everybody's got their own TV show and has their own
Right.
like this is if I everyone's doing their own production. I mean,
It's more accessible
this was
now.
a dream back when I was a child. Like everybody would be able to, I always wanted to have my own TV show or my own network where you could show, because you ever see like SCTV?
SETV?
SCTV, like with Martin Short, Eugene Levy, John Candy, is an old Canadian comedy show that influenced like SNL a lot.
Okay.
Anyways, they would have been. Anyways, we're sort of. I don't know where we're going with this, but
I love it.
but like media's changed,
Yeah.
and I think it's become the dream that everybody, or at least people like me, wanted. But now it's here. We're in it. It's like this weird echo
Yeah.
because we're playing with these tools that are super new comparatively to the last, like, as far as like media has been around, like since the invention of like newspapers.
Yeah, it was like overnight people got their own YouTube channels and they're really like, we're making their own videos and stuff. I think it's great though. It's kind of giving it more, more outlet of information than just from the TV 16 channels,
Yeah, but can it be too much information? Can we handle it?
I don't think there's ever too much information. I think we should have it. Can we handle it is the question, for sure. It depends on the person. Depends on how you were raised and like how, it affects your energy and stuff.
Would you do the Elon Musk Neuralink chip thing? Have you been hearing about that?
No, I have no idea of stuff. I try to stay out of like this kind of stuff. But tell me, I want to know. I love when people tell me stuff. I just don't go and research all this.
I don't research it either. This is just me watching Joe Rogan or.
I love Joe Rogan, and I don't want to like people to hate me, but that guy that was on, I listened to it. The doctor guy, I listened to it when it first came out. I was like, oh, I wonder what the world's gonna think. And now everyone is so mad. I was like, oh.
Why? What? Who? What? The
doctor? Oh, I don't even remember his name. The guy who came on and kind of talked about COVID and stuff. And now like everyone's mad at Joe Rogan. And am I wrong?
Everyone's gonna be mad at something.
Right.
You can't really. I don't know. You can't really. I don't know. You just got to keep on creating. People are gonna be mad at you no matter what you do.
Yeah. Well, he moved to Austin to kind of. Yeah.
Haters.
Haters are gonna be there.
Yeah. What was that one quote from? Hater. I let my haters be my motivators.
Ooh, there you go.
There you go. So you're working on this stuff now. Let me check the time. Is there anything that you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
I could always throw my socials in there. I love when people follow me on my Instagram, Madison Orange Instagram. I post my stories all day, every day. So if you really want to see my kind of reality show into my life and my dog, which is kind of behind me, you can barely see him. He's a tiny.
What's your doggy's name?
His name's Alberto. Albie. Yeah, he's 5-pound rat terrier, and he will bite your hand off if you try to pet him. He's nice. He's so smart. He's like if someone's like, "Oh, can I pet your dog?" I'm like, "Don't touch him."
Don't touch him. He's a monster. Don't go near him.
No, he's my protector, and I live alone. I need. He barks when people knock on the door. Here, let's see if he'll bark. I don't know. He knows it's me. But his little ears are up. Can you see his little ears?
It's gonna be silhouetted. He's silhouetted.
He has kind of got this black face, so he blends in. You can't see him all the time.
How old?
My best friend. But so I post on my Instagram. Follow me there.
Yeah.
I was on the radio for a few years. I took a break from that. That was 97.1 HD3 Fire Lane, a Los Angeles channel, or you can get it on the Odyssey app. I'm gonna come back on that radio in the next few months. I've just taken a break. I'm doing a movie. It's written by this amazing writer, Dat Girl. She's a singer and she's also a movie writer. We're starting to film in the next few months, And the Sex Life show, I filmed for that with a fire team where we do erotic fire dancing, and that will probably air in a year. Who knows? And yeah, that's, you know, I got stuff. Follow me, you'll see stuff.
So can we talk a little bit more about your movie?
Yeah, the movie is this
You're gonna be
amazing.
doing
There's the movie, and then there's the reality show documentary.
the movie.
You want to know the movie?
Yeah.
The premise, it's phenomenal. It's a comedy, but it's about following this girl who's been in a relationship for 10 years and happy, but she's interested in polyamory. So everyone's in their mid 30s, so it's very relatable. They're all mid 30s, LA, Fairfax. Oh, who's this? It's a kitty baby.
It's a baby. It's JoJo.
It's a girl, right? Because she's a calico.
I don't know. It's JoJo. JoJo's a big cat.
You don't know.
That's what she was doing. She rubbed me on my leg, and I was like, "Oh, muzzle."
Oh, she's this movie star kitty.
Movie star kitty. So, okay, I digress. So, this movie that you're doing, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Tell me more about where you're shooting it. And if you can't talk about certain things about it, don't do that. But like, what can you tell us about it? Like, where, when, who do you play your character at all?
Yeah.
What are you guys shooting on? How long are you guys shooting for?
Yeah. Oh gosh, we're getting into that. I'm kind of one of the main characters. I'm the best friend. I'm one of the 3 best friends to the main character. So I have enough scenes. We're filming all over Fairfax. The writing, the script in general is about this DJ girl who lives on Fairfax, and she's kind of getting more into like polyamory and the Los Angeles sexy lifestyle.
What is polyamory?
Oh, you know what it is, don't you?
No, I don't. I'm an old. I don't keep track. There's so many like.
You're monogamish.
What's that?
There's so many terms. I just learned monogamish.
I know. I was like, I can't. My hard drive only has so much space. It's like, you know. Have you ever watch Your Mom's House?
No.
That podcast with Tom Segura. Anyways, that's a great podcast. It's called Your Mom's House.
Oh, yes, the podcast. Okay,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I'm a podcast freak. I watch all podcasts. Man, I feel like I'm.
You watch Friends, Best Friends. Do you watch Best Friends with the Asian guy and the ginger guy?
Of course, that's Bobby Lee and oh god, whiskey ginger guy. Yeah, do you watch a good one is Tuesdays with Stories with Norm Macdonald, Joe List.
Oh shit, okay.
They're 2 New York-based comics. Mark Norman's kind of blowing up right now. He's and Joe List is very funny too, and he just did a feature film that he wrote and directed. So people I guess I'm finding more of my outlet with when I consume this sort of situation is I've been watching just more podcasts than anything, and films are just like I'm a film guy, but like it's like films just don't seem like they're, I don't know, it's got to be a really good movie to hold my attention for 2 hours.
Sure.
Otherwise, it's just
name a classic movie. What's the movie that you're like, if it's not like this, I don't like it. I mean,
well, there's classics. There's Young Frankenstein,
okay.
which is probably one of the best movies ever made, regardless of the genre of comedy. It's Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. It's like a tour de force of Gene Hackman's. And anyways, it's Terry Garr, Cloris Leachman. Anyways, it's one of the best. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Airplane.
Yes.
The movie is.
I love that film. My mom made me watch that as a kid. We knew all the lines by heart, and we'd be like, "What's your vector, Victor?" Like we would just be weird and just use all those lines.
Well, I just watched it again recently, like on YouTube. It's free. Airplane.
Oh, it's really on YouTube?
I kind of binged watched it first. I was like, I pull this up. I couldn't take it off, and so I kind of like when that kid is giving Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a hard time about losing the game, and then he's like, "I'm not really Kareem Abdul-Jabbar." No, you're Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's all, my father says you really like didn't use your energy correctly towards the last half. He's all, listen, kid. And he got in his grill and stuff like that. Anyways, it breaks the fourth wall. It's great performances all around. Great comedy. Anyway, Dr. Strangelove, Apocalypse Now. You ever see those videos that they made of like when they were first studying like movement and film, like in the 1910s? There's a series of films that were made where people would be in a grid background. and they'd have animals or humans doing this classic like running or whatever, and then they animated it together. It was like it was the first before beginnings of film.
Right. Is it a documentary based on that, or are you just watching that?
Those are clips that they made. It was like
Clips in the
sort of like industrial videos. Like
Right.
they're just you know, there wasn't a genre yet. They're documenting things.
right.
But I never. What's the deal with your tattoo? That's pretty cool. How long did that take?
Oh yeah. Okay, ready for this? Okay, so that's my tattoo, right? This is my phone. My nails match my phone. And my license plates on my cars, like the frames are this. I have bags, I have purses. It's kind of my like logo thing.
Are you gonna start doing merch or anything like that? You sort of
Over the years I've had merch for my GoGo dancing company, which is the GoGo Hoop Dance Stars. I used to make, or I'd have made screen printed shirts that have our logo and stuff. It's been a while. I have some stickers in the mail right now. I have like my 3 projects, my fire dancing, my LED go-go dancing, and my DJing. And in those 3 categories, there's tons of other little things. Because as a DJ, it's like, okay, I want to DJ the Playboy Mansion, but I also want to DJ that like wedding over there, So it's kind of like I have to find my little ways of looking so that I'm appropriate for whatever I do.
Yeah.
So if even LED dancing, I can do it at a kids circus show, and I can also do it at the Playboy Mansion or a strip club. I used to be featured dancer at Spearmint Rhino for many years, and I would tour Spearmint Rhinos just hula hooping.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
Did you meet a lot of friends doing that job? Like,
2 of my best friends I met at the strip clubs in like 2011, and I'm still best friends. One of them's watching my dog when I'm gone next week. She's amazing.
This boat. Okay, wait. There's a couple things that because we're kind of jumping around a little bit because I'm stoned. And
I love it.
But like when you're on a ship like that, when you're going on a Carnival cruise line, how do you feel isolated, or do you feel confident in, I mean, obviously you're doing it, but like the I guess you've done it before, but like how comfortable is that? Because it seems a little claustrophobic to me.
Okay, so how I can totally describe this is from someone who's done all different types of festival camping, from tents in deserts, Burning Man, tents in woods. And then I've also done accommodations. I've been doing this 15 years. I've done the RVs, I've done the cabins, I've done the tents where it rains inside your tent. I've done the sharing a tent with 5 girls and you're all freaking out. Like, so the being on a cruise line and sharing a 2-bedroom room with a bathroom with another girl is like heaven compared to some other shit I've done.
Okay.
Because I'm used to tent festivals in a way. I'm not so much used to it anymore. One of my like my rider is like, if you don't have a fucking RV, I won't go.
You gotta pamper yourself. You gotta you're Madison Orange. God.
I know. Well, I have to have my space, my place to get ready. If you want me to do the best show possible, I need to have showered and used a real toilet. When I was 18 running around back,
that's asking a lot, man. That's a tall order, man. You get a bucket.
I just need a real
and a
bathroom.
sponge.
My burners will understand what I mean. There's burners that are billionaires and they understand what I mean when you're like, their accommodations can be rough in certain areas of festival entertainment. I've even stayed in cabins, but it was so rainy, your whole outfit and shoes and hair get wet before you get on stage. So.
I was at one of the Coachella festivals. I had some friends that were like doing stuff for the creative part of it, the arts part. And I couldn't afford a ticket, so I ended up sleeping in my buddy's car, which was like a fucking small. It was parked inside the venue.
Right. So you snuck in the car, or you snuck in the car?
No, well, I was planned that I was going to go sleep in it because I don't have a ticket. I could just walk through the gate in the morning because I'm inside already, because it's the art. And so and one of the windows didn't roll up, and I didn't have a blanket. and I also had a jug of water, right? So I got the crack of dawn. People start moving around. I walk through this with those the one of the gallon geyser, square things of water, and through the gate. I got through, and the whole place is empty. And I walked towards the beginning, but like I had a jug of water, which if you know about Coachella, they charge you $100 for like a glass or a thing of water, and no one else. You're not allowed to bring things in. So everyone's always jealous that I had a gallon of water. They're like, "Where'd you get that gallon of water?"
Where'd you get that?
I said, "You're like, I got, I do things." But I got to see the whole funnel of people come through the whole place and totally fill it up.
Yeah.
So it was pretty kind of like kind of a crazy night. But like I'm sorry, what were we talking about now?
I love seeing how festivals build and change like that. That's
Mhm.
something amazing about being a part of it and working a certain aspect, whether it's entertainment or build crew or security or safety. It all different groups of that to make a festival. It's not just the DJ you're going to see. You're lucky that that stage was even built for that DJ. That's
Yeah.
something you learn at Burning Man is you start to meet the people who are building the stuff, and you have such a different respect for, you see the whole picture than just the one artist.
Yeah, so it's a group of artists coming together to do one thing.
Yeah, for maybe that headliner or that artist or whatever. But it's like so many different people. I've made friends with the head of security every festival I go to. I'm like, I want to meet the head of security. I'm probably at this point know who he is. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just checking in, and then you make friends, and then they like drive you around in their golf carts and stuff. And those are all the people that isn't the artist. So festivals are way more than just that star. It's the whole group of people. Burning Man's really cool because when you see a Black Rock Ranger walking around, you're like, thank you, man. Thank you for your work. Like they're there to make sure you're safe so that you don't get the cops called on you,
Yeah. I think one of the last years I went to Burning Man, somebody got busted for smoking a joint in center camp.
What? Oh, but you were inside center camp.
I was,
or like the person was.
but that's the least offensive thing happening at Burning Man.
Oh yeah, no.
And so they're making examples of people. They're like, okay, we just pluck you out for no reason.
Yeah, that seems a bit.
That was like, I was on LSD. I was like, oh man, I don't want to see a
You're like killing my vibe, man.
A cop car rolling up to like, the girl dry humping the machine.
Right.
Center,
like that's going on there. Can this motherfucker have a joint? Like, yes, yeah. I mean, there's gonna be the good and bad in anything. I can try to see the good in a lot of the art stuff that we're involved in. There's gonna be the
it's funny just to even have that experience.
Yeah.
I went on a date with a girl there, and I gave her mushrooms. I knew as soon as you give mushrooms to somebody, they're gonna disappear.
Yeah, you're like, I'm on a date giving her mushrooms. I was like, when did you see her next?
The last time I saw her, because we hadn't started tripping hard yet, but like she got me to get on a cross or like a thing and pull my pants down, and she whipped my ass in public. And I never do stuff like that. I never do. I was like, and then I was like, okay, well, where do we go from here? And then she ran off from. I lost her after that.
She got what she wanted from you. There it is. That's it. That was awesome. I'm really glad you had that experience as a man. I think all men need that, where you feel open to it, but you're like, all right.
She's really cute. She was really cute.
Especially by a cute girl who also doesn't like, she seems to probably have fluttered away, like some spiritual flutter, which by the way, that's the character I play in the movie.
Oh, really?
A spiritual burner, and this is how I talk, like which I feel like are the ones who would be like, we're gonna put you up on this cross, like don't worry, we're gonna take your pants down. You're like, okay.
Maybe do a little more crackle and talk. The fry.
I'll work on it.
The vocal fry. Get the vocal fry going.
Right.
I was walking around in LA one time, and I saw these two girls talking. And they probably were like 16 or 17, but the vocal fry was out of control. I was like, really? You're really talking like that?
They grew up on Kardashians. They come out from those reality shows.
Well, do you know who I think invented vocal fry first? Is Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, sure.
She did a song. I forget. It's on her first album where one of her octaves that she in one of the lyrics. And she did that vocal fry. That had never been done before. That like, I forget maybe I'll try to patch it in right now. If I grab the video, I'll patch it in. But it's just like the first time that's happened, and like, wow, people adapt to that and like think it's normal. It's kind of funny. But so, how long are you going to shoot it for? Are you still working that out?
We're working it all out. I mean, I just listened to their schedule. We're still in the script reading phases right now. And then once shooting starts, then I'll know how long we're shooting for. They're still casting some parts. What's that?
That's exciting.
It is. It's exciting. You're
Wait,
actually the first I've told to be, besides my mom.
It's
So,
a
like,
is this an exclusive? A Brett's
this
with
is
Friends
an
exclusive?
Besides my
Brett's with
mother,
Friends
you are the
exclusive.
first to get the
Woo!
exclusive. And I will send you the info as it comes too, so you
Yeah.
can, maybe we can re-interview once the movie's out and
That'd be
we
great.
can talk about it. Because I know it's a film that everyone who's open-minded and it talks about drugs and being high and the spiritual benefits of things, So I think you'll have appreciation for it. It might be cheesy, cute girl for you, but
No, hey.
after you name like young Frankenstein in those movies, I don't know how. I don't know how this will compare.
I think it'll be compare just fine. Are you doing it independently, or is it just like you guys got a certain?
No, well, it's an independent film, and it got bought by like a whole director team. She applied her script to this contest of some sort. I really wish I knew the details better. I probably should. She probably told me when I was drunk, and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." She won a contest, and so the script got bought and taken over, and now she still plays the lead role. But they're making the movie for. I'm not sure where it goes. I don't know if it's just Sundance.
Do you know how the director or who the director is?
Yeah. I don't know if I should say. I mean, yeah, I don't. It's not. I mean, I'm not super familiar. If it's not Steven Spielberg or Tim Burton, I don't know who the fuck they are. I'm sorry. Wait. Let's name another director so I sound way more smart than that.
No, Steven Spielberg is like fucking Steven Spielberg. Jesus Christ.
So my favorite movies are Jurassic Park. Let's just put that in there. Steven Spielberg, nice. Jurassic Park. I own them all. I'm excited for the new one to come out in June. My friends are like, how many times can dinosaurs escape? I'm like, I don't fucking care. I will see it in first day it comes out. Jurassic Park. What do you think of Jurassic Park is what I should ask.
The first time I saw Jurassic Park, I was living in Tahoe and working at this restaurant, waiting tables, and my friend worked at the movie theater, and they got the reel of Jurassic Park in, and we watched, because you have to watch the film to preview it to see everything works okay before it opens. So I saw
it before
it opened, and it was at midnight we started it, and my mind was blown.
Yeah, it was cutting edge. There was nothing else like it.
And then we walked outside, smoked a cigarette, and said, "Hey, let's watch that again."
Oh wow!
And we watched it again. We watched it again twice, and we got out of there when the sun was rising. Just seeing it twice, we saw it. I was like, "What just happened?" And so that's how I saw Jurassic Park. But for the future, the later ones, it's like I saw the new intro for the later one. Okay, I know he's a nice guy. I hear great things about him, but I just kind of bugs me. I Chris Pratt.
Right. I understand, because I like the other two. I hate that I'm blanking on the name.
It's just so fucking funny. It's like, I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. I don't know why, but I just like, ew.
I don't like you. I just don't like you. It's okay.
Well, he shoots animals for sport and shit. And I don't know.
Oh, in real life, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, now I hate him. You can't.
And Anna Faris was with him. They have a couple kids together, but she's got a podcast that's pretty damn good. Anna Faris, you know who that is?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'm putting it together that they were together.
Yeah, but he's weird. No.
No, he seems a bit weird. With the movies, though, if you watch them all in order, you watch them before the new film, they really do like interweave. You'll see some parts like from the first movie, and when they're in the room where they're making dinosaur eggs and stuff, and how they bring different characters back, and it's only tiny little things that you would notice if you're a super fan like me. But
you're a Jurassic Park super fan.
That's
another exclusive.
I had dinosaurs all over my room. You would think it was like a boys' room. I mean, I was girly too.
But I love dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs and Barbies. My Barbies would ride the dinosaurs. Like,
maybe you can make a movie about that.
That seems really good. They should do that as the next one.
Yeah. Barbies and dinosaurs.
That's everything I like.
Exclusive Barbies.
Coming to a theater near you or your house if you don't.
Or your iPhone or whatever.
Or your iPhone. Watch it here right on your iPhone.
So where do you see? I know we're going a little long, and I don't want to keep you too much further because I'm sure you got shit to do. But if you were to take your crystal ball and see where you want to be and will be in 5 years from now,
5 years.
Where do you want to? That's easy, right? 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
It's 5
Well,
years.
10, 20 years, I could kind of be a little more like this, but 5 years is like, okay, I gotta actually like, 5 years I want to have made and produced my own song, which I said earlier that, you know, I focus on DJing. It's not that I don't want to be a producer. It's that, like I said, what I love and what I'm passionate about is playing appropriate music for the time and space. And it's never had to have been my own music. That's, you know, I like dropping Al Green here and I like dropping Skrillex over here. Like, I just like, but there, you get some credibility and experience when making your own. So join up with some producers and create my own song, and hopefully that's out and released before 5 years, but definitely a 5-year goal. Yeah, I hope to be married one day. Nobody can really handle me. I'm kind of crazy, not crazy, but I'm very like, everything has to be my way, if you can't tell already. So it'd be nice to be like married, but you know.
You want kids?
I don't want kids. I'd like to have dogs, lots of dogs. Nothing against them. I'm just never like, I wrap him like a baby so I can get my like motherly.
Well, you know, the Pope is against that.
Against what? Not having babies?
If you get a pet instead of having children, he does.
Oh God, is he really?
Yeah, there's a thing about that. Like,
oh fuck. Oh man. Well, I don't know. If I was gonna go to hell before, I was gonna go to hell before. If that's not it, you know.
Yeah.
If he's getting me on that one, I'm screwed way before that.
That's just the beginning of the rabbit hole.
I would really love though, in like 20 years, my earliest memories, my parents had this little like petting zoo for me when I was a kid. We lived in Phelan, which there was a lot of land in Phelan. It's the high desert. And this little movie thing, you know the movie Babe? My mom actually had potbelly pigs, and the movie Babe is based off like 100 pigs to make the one, you know.
Yeah.
And it was my mom's litter that actually was it was Babe.
Oh,
so
really?
The movie Babe, the directors or producer, whoever, came to my house and I was like 2 or 3 with Beethoven the dog. Do you remember Beethoven, that big dog?
You know, I know the movie in clips, but I don't know the movie. I've never seen Babe.
Oh gosh, you have to see Babe. It's such a good movie.
I know, I hear.
And I'm not biased.
Yeah,
but the director came. I always just felt so special as a kid. I thought the world revolved around me. It's like, this is the director of the movie, and they're your pigs, you know.
Aw.
So I'd love to have my own little like.
Your pig was Babe.
Yeah. So I wish my mom was here to chime in and tell all the details of. She had potbelly pigs. My mom had a little potbelly pig farm, but we also had Chinese chickens and goats and what are they called? Well, we had a bunch of dogs too, ducks. And so Babe, the directors were buying the potbelly pigs of Southern California to make the movie, you know?
Yeah.
So they bought the pigs from my mom. And so every time I saw the movie in theaters, my mom's like, that's your pig, you know, as a little 4-year-old. You're like, oh my God.
That's kind of crazy when you have that experience of seeing something that is tangible and then it's like bigger than life.
Right. I think that gives you more direct ways of manifesting too, because everything seems possible. You know, you're like, oh, okay. So now I feel like I can be on that movie screen. Maybe that's where my full circle's coming out. I'm like, well, I'll just be up there.
Yeah. Well, that's the inspiration of it, right? You're like, I grew up with Ray Harryhausen movies and stuff like that, like animation, Tex Avery, Chuck Jones, like, you know, Warner Brothers cartoons and stuff like that. And those were the inspirations. Those were the inspirations for what I do now. It's like almost like the echo of inspiration or something like that. It's like you're inspired, and then that inspiration echoes through your work. And if you're, you know, empathy, like an empathetic person, I think is easier to absorb that, you know, because I don't know, if you're not like empathetic or feel things, you can still do it, but like sometimes you just absorb it,
right?
Like and then you reiterate it and try to make a life out of it and DJ and
yeah, no, I love that. That makes so much sense. I've just kind of saw my own life go into this inspirational, inspiring, like when you put your finger in water and it kind of goes out, you know?
yeah. It's a very interesting time to be. There's so many different ways to express yourself and get it out there. It's almost like you know how pizza toppings only have like pepperoni, whatever, sausage, onions. You only have so many things, but now it's like it's that like times 1,000, million, 100. Like you can spread it out. But I'm babbling. Do you want to call it a day? Do you want to do this a different time? Do you want to get on with the rest of your life, or is there anything you want to tell your fans out there? The floor is yours. I mean,
No,
I'll go as long as you want to go.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, I leave tomorrow actually to Orlando, so I got my nails done today. I was talking to you. I'm pretty stoked about some things, but I hope the country's doing okay, because I know people are still scared, and I hope everyone's staying healthy and, you know, all that good stuff. Less stress, exercise more, less, you know, pharmaceuticals, more exercise and sun, all those things.
Pill people. I don't know pill people.
You know, there's a time and place for everything. You know, I have a headache or cramps, I'm gonna take, you know, but it's just, there's limits to, there's so many commercials where you're just like, what is that for? You know, it's got these catchy names and you're like, who's taking that pill?
Oh, dude, over here in Oregon, everybody's on pills. And I'm not a pill guy. I'll wait like 5 hours with a headache to take an aspirin.
Sure.
I just don't, for some reason, I don't know. I just don't like pills.
It's so man-made. You've mentioned mushrooms so many times. I mean, I don't do them often, but I just feel like the world would be so much better place if that was like the main focus of things on the regular, as opposed to alcohol, cocaine, which is huge in Los Angeles. I mean, I as a DJ can't go anywhere without going into a bathroom where girls are doing coke in the bathroom, or even at their table, depending on the club, you know. It's just, I think 90% of
the worst. I did coke recently, and I don't usually do coke at all. I'll keep it minimal words, but I met somebody, they bought a piece of artwork from me, and then he busted this thing out, and it was in the middle of the night, and I did a bump, and then he left, and I'm like up, right?
Yeah, that's the worst when you're alone and spun out.
Rainy, cold, and shitty outside. And I was just chain smoking cigarettes and I was like, what did I do? You know, as the sun was coming up, I was like, dude, I just totally screwed my next day.
Yeah,
totally. I totally fucked my next day. My next day was shit. And I was like, I don't ever do that. I don't do that. And
well, that's good if it's not something you don't do regularly. You can kind of catch yourself.
Oh no, why would you do that regularly? Like that makes you a monster.
It's horrible. You know, there's this cycle, and I was in it for a long time, where you work, you drink, you do blow, you're up till the morning, you sleep all day, you go back to work, and then you do that for 4 days. But the work for me is like DJing, so you just do another bump or have another shot, and you're able to do it again, you know, go through your night of working. But then your 2 days off, your 3 days off are spent like in bed, headache, ordering Grubhub because you don't want to get up, so you're spending $50. Like, and a couple years of that, you're just like, where's all my money? Where's my energy? Where's my youthfulness? You know. So I've been like stopping drinking. I haven't drank in 20 days since.
I know. I saw the juices. You posted something about your juices, like you had a thing of green things shakes.
Yeah, it was like the first shots in 17 days. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I told myself I was going to go a really long time without anything. And of course, that's when I get booked for Groove Cruise. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go on a booze cruise and not drink, but I'm going to try. We'll see. I'm going to be day by day.
Are you meditating at all? Do you do like a meditation at all? Or do you?
I probably should. I come off more hippie than I actually am. I started reading this really good self-help book. That was one. That was something.
Have you heard about The Power of Now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read it, but I'm familiar with it.
Well, you can listen to it. There's an audio book of it.
Okay.
But it's
do you suggest it? Do you think that's something that would be beneficial for me?
Everyone,
yeah.
Everyone, you as well. But definitely, it talks about things like the pain body, in which I've talked about endlessly on the show. But like the pain body is like something, I'm paraphrasing, like a 10-minute thing. It's just like anything else that's alive in your body wants to be fed. And so it'll feed on whatever you can eat. And that means like destroying friendships and not letting people speak and just, I don't know. You have to just do a deep dive.
Yeah, I love that.
Alan Watts is the king. Yeah. Alan Watts is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's talk in the future.
I love that you kind of asked me a little bit about what I want in my goals, and so we can kind of like come back to that after the movie or something, see where it's at. I love
it. Do you have a working title for the movie? Or are you not allowed to say it? Do you have a working title for the movie?
I'm not going to say it just yet, just to kind of like watch myself.
I try to squeeze one more. I try to squeeze it in there a little bit.
All the exclusives on your show today. I love it.
Yay. Well, I want to I guess let's end it on a high note. And thank you, Madison Orange, for being on Brets with Friends, my 71st episode, the new episode of 2022.
Ooh.
Woo-hoo. And let's keep it going. I'm excited to see your film.
Thank you so much. I will be in touch, absolutely, so you can see the growth of it. And I love that you're a movie buff, so maybe you can give me some advice through the process.
I'll write you a list. I got a list.
I love it. I love lists. I live off lists.
All right. Well, I'll write you a list of great movies that you should have seen by now.
Please do.
Yeah. Thank
Yay.
you.
Thank you
Have
so
a
much
great
for
time.
having me.
I hope so. Let's do this again. Yay. Thank you. All right. That's it. That was fun. See you guys later. Happy New Year. Happy 2022.
Friends with friends. Friends with friends.
Well, it's a shame you. Shouldn't I get back to work, madam?
I had something of a pain.
You forgave him?
Yes?
Jabba Wonka.
Message after the message.